Omisher Research and Education Center presents Lecture 2, Historical Evolution of Operations Management. This is a lecture series on operations management. Your teacher today is Dr. Subhash Kakkar. He is PhD from FMS Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi University, India. He is also MBA from FMS Delhi University, India. He is BE Mechanical Engineering from Delhi College of Engineering, Delhi University. He is Six Sigma Master Black Belt and also SAP R3PP consultant. He has over 40 years experience of corporate sector and academics. Presently, he is working as director in Omisher Research and Education Center, Delhi, India. Today's topic is historical evolution of operations management. In the preceding lectures, we have discussed that operations management is an important discipline in the struggle to remain competitive in an ever-changing global marketplace. Of the many functions in business, there are three primary functions: operations, marketing, and finance. This operations management was earlier called as production management to take care of manufacturing units only. When service industry came into light, then its name was changed to production and operations management, which has now been shortened to only operations management. Operations management is the management of an organization's productive resources or its production system, which converts inputs into the organization's products and services. There have always been production systems in the past, but the ways in which these ancient people produced products were quite different from the production methods of today. Production systems prior to the 1700s are often referred to as cottage systems because the production of products took place in homes or cottages where craftsmen directed apprentices in performing handwork on products. In England in the 1700s, a development occurred that we refer to as the Industrial Revolution. This advancement involved two principal elements: the widespread substitution of machine power for human power and the establishment of factory system. Then a book was published by Adam Smith. The publication of Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations in 1776 touted the economic benefits of division of labor, also referred to as specialization of labor, which broke the production of products into small specialized tasks that was assigned to workers along production lines. Thus, the factories of the late 1700s had developed not only production machinery but also ways of planning and controlling the work of production workers. The end of Civil War witnessed the beginning of modern forms of capital through the establishment of joint stock companies. This development led to the separation of the capitalist from the employer, with managers becoming salaried employees of the financiers who owned the capital. During the post-Civil War period, industries, empires were built, and by 1900, all of these developments increased capital and production capacity, the expanded urban workforce, and an effective national transportation system set the stage for the great production explosion of the early 20th century. Scientific management, the economic and social environment of the new century, formed the crucible in which scientific management was formulated. The one missing link was management, the ability to develop this great production machinery to satisfy the massive markets of the day. A nucleus of engineers, business executives, consultants, educators, and researchers developed the methods and philosophy called scientific management. Frederick Winslow Taylor is known as the father of scientific management. He studied the factory problems of his day scientifically and popularized the notion of efficiency, getting the desired results with the least waste of time, effort, and materials. Human relations behavioralism. Factory workers of the Industrial Revolution were uneducated, unskilled, undisciplined, and fresh off the farms. Although these workers had a basic dislike for factory work, factory jobs were all that stood between them and starvation. Factory managers developed rigid controls to force them to work hard. The legacy of rigid controls carried over into the 1800s and early 1900s. Between World War I and World War II, there began to emerge a philosophy among managers that workers were human beings and should be treated with dignity while on the job. The human relations movement began. These early human relations studies and experiments soon gave way to broad range of research into the behavior of workers in their job environment. Lot of work has been done in the field of human resource management. We are still learning how to utilize the great potential present in the industrial workers today. Succeeding in today's global business environment depends more than ever on tapping the underutilized capabilities of employees. Operations managers must therefore attempt to create an organizational climate that encourages employees to devote their energy, skill to the achievement of organizational objectives. During 1940s and 60s, there came into picture operations research or management science. The European campaign of World War II used enormous quantities of manpower, supplies, planes, ships, materials, and other resources that had to be deployed in an extremely hectic environment. Perhaps never before had organization faced such complex management decisions. Because of this complexity, operations research teams were formed to all branches of the military services. These teams utilized many of the academic disciplines of the time. The concepts of a total system approach and of interdisciplinary teams and the utilization of complex mathematical techniques evolved as a result of the chaotic conditions existing in the huge military organizations involved in World War II. This gives the birth to management science or operations research. Service revolution. One important development of our time is the mushrooming of services in almost all the countries' economy. Then came into picture the computer age. Operations became large and large, big and big, and became impossible to handle manually. Then people started using computers to take care of the operations. Then environmental issues were highlighted during 1970s. While manufacturing, we produce gases, we produce effluents, we produce noise also. Solid waste, liquid waste, gaseous waste. Emphasis was given to all these discharges in the form of ISO standards, and the pollution controls came into picture during 1970s. Japanese techniques like GIT, Kanban, TQM were impressive, and in modern era, robotics and numerical controls, computer assisted design, statistical process controls, lean manufacturing, benchmarking, ISO standards, time based competition, process re engineering, outsourcing, supply chain management, and now virtual organizations are possible. This all happened after 1990s and still it is happening. Still the demand for such thing is going on vigorously. For long run success, companies must place much importance on their operations to remain effective and in the market. To succeed in global competition, companies must make a commitment to customer responsiveness and continuous improvement toward the goal of quickly developing innovative products and services that have the best combination of exceptional quality, fast and on-time delivery, and low prices and costs. Operations managers' jobs are complicated by the need for more effective management of the expanded service sector. Scarcity of capital, materials, and other resources for operations, and the need for operations managers to exercise more social responsibility. Given these factors, how can operations manager cope and succeed today? How operations managers can develop long-range game plans for succeeding in an atmosphere characterized by operations strategies in global economy is all about it. These factors do indeed create an interesting and challenging opportunity for operations managers and others studying this field. And these will be discussed in our subsequent lectures in detail. Today's operations management environment, customer demand, better quality, greater speed and lower cost. Companies implement lean systems concepts, a total system approach to efficient operation. Recognize need to better manage information using ERP and CRM systems. Increased cross-functional decision. OM in practice has the most important organizational function, manages the transformation process. OM has many faces and names such as VP Operations, General Manager Operations, Manufacturing Manager, Plant Manager, and even Head Operations. All business functions need information from OM in order to perform their task. Now we'll discuss manufacturing versus service organization. Services, we have intangible products. Products cannot be inventoried and high customer contact, short response time, and these are labor intensive. Manufacturing, we have tangible products, product is inventoried, low customer contact, longer response time. Similarities are there between service and manufacturing industries. Both use technology, both have quality, productive and response issues, both must forecast demand, both can have capacity, layout and location issues, both have customers, suppliers, scheduling and staffing. Manufacturing often provides services, services often provide tangible goods. Some organizations are a blend of service and manufacturing. These are called quasi-manufacturing organizations. QM characteristics include low customer contact and capital intensive. If we are in the manufacturing business, maybe 90% of our business is manufacturing, 10% will always be service. And similarly, if we are in the service industry, 90% or 80% operations will be service, and then balance 10% will be manufacturing. The operation function or production system can be viewed as shown in this diagram. Inputs, transformation, outputs, customers, feedback, goods or services, and feedback. An operation or production system receives inputs in the form of materials, personnel, capital, utilities, and information. These inputs are changed in a conversion system known as transformation process into the desired products and services, which are called outputs. A portion of the output is monitored in the control subsystem to determine if it is acceptable in the system. If the output is not acceptable, managerial corrective action is required. The control subsystem ensures system performance by providing feedback so that corrective action can be taken by manager. And the aim of operations is to satisfy customers fully. That's all for today. Thank you.